So, do we live to eat or do we eat to live? Huh? Sometimes I have the feeling we live to eat, huh? Wait until Michelle is ready. When we do practice, we don't need a lot of food. Yeah? We just need enough. Yeah? If we eat too much, we're getting too tired. Yeah? Our practice is not going on. Yeah? So don't be always the last person when getting up from eating. Yeah? One has to be the last person, but if it's always the same person, that doesn't look good on you. So if you don't live to eat, but eat to live, what is the purpose of our life? Yeah? What do we have in mind? Yeah? With the rest of our life, yeah? And because we are Buddhists, not only the rest of our life, but also preparing for our next journey, the journey after our death. Yeah? What do we want to accomplish in this life, and what are we preparing to accomplish in our next life? Shouldn't that be a question that concerns us? I rather think so. Not everybody, has made his mind, to get out of the hamster wheel. Yeah? If people still don't understand what the hamster wheel is, it is the life of samsara. Yeah? Born, die, born, die, born, die, getting into this realm or that realm, and changing the realms, but constantly, being somewhere in samsara, in this universe of 31 realms of existence. Yeah? But simply and very effective, I just call it hamster wheel. Running, 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 not going anywhere. Because when we look at a hamster in a hamster wheel, he certainly thinks, he's doing something. And we certainly think that we are doing something that is worthwhile. But when we look at our lives that we have lived so far, we have been everything. Yeah? Most of the time we probably have been soldiers. Yeah? Sometimes we have been farmers, sometimes we have been government officials. Yeah? Maybe sometimes some of us might have been even kings, or lords or whatever. Yeah? Or slaves. Yeah? Every kind of facets, when we came back to the human realm. Yeah? We have lived through. Yeah? Sometimes we have been scientists, sometimes we have been doctors and so on. Yeah? So what is there more that we want? Yeah? That is the question you should ask yourself. Yeah? Isn't it enough? Yeah? Yeah? Have you not looked closely enough at your current life, how much fun it is? Yeah? When I look at your faces, it must be so much fun, so that you want to have a next life, and next life, you can't get enough of it. But if it's not, at least start to pave a way, that leads out of the hamster wheel. Yeah? That's all my intention. Yeah? My intention is there, to teach you the way out of the hamster wheel, and hopefully, for some of you, that are so deep asleep, to wake you up at least for a few moments and think about, what am I doing here in this life? What am I doing here in this body, in this form, in this kind of life? Yeah? Don't I have anything better to do? Yeah? That's the whole purpose of my teaching. Yeah? To wake up people, and to make them aware, just like the Lord Buddha, made us aware, 2,500 years ago, that there's a way out of the samsara, or the hamster wheel. Yeah? Because he looked at it, he looked at it, the four boats, the death, yeah? Old age, yeah? Sickness, yeah? And that the fourth one was a monk or samana, yeah? A recluse, yeah? And only that gave him the idea, maybe there are some people living outside of the society. What are they looking for? What are they after? Yeah? Why do they not live the same way as the rest of us? Yeah? Why do they live a different life? Yeah? And so he went to become a recluse in order to find a way out of birth and death, and sickness and old age. And in the end he found it. Yeah? Wasn't easy for him. Yeah? Even though he trained, for lives and lives and lives and lives, he had to find a way out. And for us, it is much easier because we have the teaching of the Lord Buddha with us, be it in written form or be it, sometimes in the forms of teaching from monks who live that kind of life. So we should ask ourselves, what is it? Yeah? I mean, I don't. What is it in English? Dhamma. I don't look down on anybody, who says, I want to become in my next life, I want to become the president, of any state. Yeah? That is his choice, yeah. If he thinks, that is worthwhile pursuing, please do pursue it, yeah. If you want to become a rich man or a rich woman, no matter what, if you want to become a woman or if a woman want to become a man, if that is what you pursue, please, go and pursue it. Yeah? If you think that brings you happiness. If this, whatever you think, at least have a goal and don't run aimlessly through this world like, the rest of the population. Yeah? The rest of the world aimlessly, they don't know what they are doing. Yeah? Isn't that what Jesus said? What? They don't know what they are doing. Yeah? And that is us. What do we pick up? When we are brought up. Yeah? What do we pick up from society? You have a family, you find a job, or you get educated, then find a job, then you have a family, and then you die. Yeah? That's it. Yeah? There must be more to life than this. Yeah? And not only this life, we did it, or we do it, but the previous lives, we all did the same thing. Yeah? And it must have been, such a happy life that we wanted more and wanted more. So really, really consider the fact. Look at this life that you have lived. If you haven't lived very long, there's not much to look at. But you can look at the first education of the first 15 years of your life, where you educated or where you trained this body. Or, in other words, where you learned how to drive a car. Yeah? Remember that? Huh? When we came out of the womb, we didn't know how to do anything. Yeah? So we learned how to drive the car. And this car is called a human body. Yeah? So we have this human body that is full of abilities. Yeah? No doubt about it. Yeah? It is a very special thing. Yeah? Something that we, over the millions of lives that we have lived, constructed, just like we nowadays construct robots who do our work, the work that we don't like to do, or the work that is difficult, requires a lot of sati, that's we like the robots to do. But it's nothing else, it's just a vehicle. It's just a I call it a human robot. And this robot has to be programmed. And we use 15 years of our life to program it. First, first digestion, then learning to move, then learning to walk, then learning to talk, then learning to think. Because this body was stupid when it came out of the womb. And if it didn't educate it well, then it wouldn't know anything. And so, who is the one who educated it? And this we always forget, because we always, or we believe so much, that we are this body. So then the question is, then that makes us afraid of death, because the moment the body dies, we think we also die. But when we know Buddhism very well, we know we don't die. There's something going on. Yeah? And what is going on into the next life? Yeah, actually, you just call it, karma. Karma is going on into the next life. But this karma is attached to something that we call chitta. Yeah? So this chitta is looking according to its karma for next possible life. Yeah. Just like if we own a car, yeah, and if this car gets scrapped, yeah, it's not usable anymore, yeah, depending on the money or the resources we have, we go and buy a new car. Because we love this car. Yeah, we can't live without this car anymore. Yeah? So we do the same thing with the body, without thinking about. Yeah? And that's where I come, that's where the Lord Buddha comes in. Think about this life. Yeah? When you're born, you will grow old, you will get sick, and you will die. Yeah? And the next life will be very, very similar. Yeah? We will be born again. Yeah? And we love so much, the first 15 years of our life that we want to do it again. Or when we grow old, all what we look good, yeah, even when we believe in the next life, and then we think about the age of 20, when everything is over, when the body is trained. Yeah, we don't look at it. Yeah, we don't look with any participation on our ages 5 years old. Yeah, when we went to kindergarten. Yeah, we want to go through this again. Or we don't want to go through puberty again, yeah, because that was really disturbing. Yeah? Now that we have gone through it, yeah, when we look back, it was really disturbing part of our life. Yeah? But we have to do that when we come back as a human being. We have to go through it again, yeah, and through it again, and we went through it. How many times we don't even know it. Yeah, once. Sometimes we have been a woman. Sometimes we have been a man. Yeah. That's actually, the chitta has no sex, yeah? And there are some realms of existence that don't have any sex, yeah? They are not male or female, they are just, there. Yeah? Some of the higher realms of the heavens, yeah? But even the lower realms of the heavens have males and females, yeah? So they enjoy, this sexual or sensual desires, yeah? Have these sensual desires and sexual desires. Yeah? It's okay, yeah. Do what you want to do, but just be aware, of this hamster wheel that you're stuck into, yeah. And if you want to find a way out, the Lord Buddha actually teaches us the way out, and the way out is the fourth noble truth. Yeah? And the fourth noble truth is sila, samadhi, panya. So sila, what is it? The 5 precepts. Yeah? We should all know them by now, not harming any living being, not taking what is not given, no sexual misconduct. That means being faithful to one's partnership or one's wife or one's husband, yeah, and not having sex with people who are dependent on us. Yeah? And if you remember, in Germany, 100 years ago, it was against the law and people went to prison when they had sex outside of the marriage. Yeah? Or when a teacher had a sex with a student, he went to prison. Nowadays it's fine, it's okay. Yeah? No, that is all. Yeah? A parent, with a child, a teacher with a student, and no matter, and of course, all these CEOs, with their secretaries and whatever who is dependent on them. And that's all sexual misconduct. Yeah? No lies and no harsh speech, yeah? And no drugs and no alcohol and no drugs, everything that makes us unmindful. Yeah? And that is sila, that is the column of sila. Yeah? And within, if you look at the Eightfold Path, right livelihood comes in there. Yeah? It's part of the sila. Yeah? Right view, yeah? It's part of panya. So, but before that, yeah, we need even a little bit more, yeah, and because most of us come from the West, yeah, we have done with it, we have done with generosity, respect, and gratitude, yeah. We are not grateful anymore, yeah. We want or constantly want more, this is my right, that is my right, this is, Nothing is our right. The only right that we have is to our karma. We don't have a right, we don't have a right to a doctor, we don't have a right, that somebody gives us a job, we don't have the right, that somebody rents us a house, or we don't have the right, that somebody sells us something. The only right that we have is our good karma or bad karma. That's the only right that we have. So be grateful for whatever is given to you. Even if it is just the opportunity to sell something, or if it is the opportunity to buy something, or if it is the opportunity to get famous, or whatever you want. So be grateful, and be respectful. We can respect people, but we mixed up, especially, I'm mostly talking to the people who come from the West. We mixed up, respect with something that we like, So we can only respect people we think, are trustworthy or likable, But bad people we cannot respect. That is completely wrong. That has nothing to do with respect. Respect and likes and dislikes, or value and devalue, it's two different things, Even if it's a murderer, even if it's a torturer, even if it's a soldier who does bad things, we should respect him because he has come back as a human being. And we only can come back as a human being if, for a certain amount of time, we have kept the 5 precepts, It's just like, over lifetimes, we gather enough money to be able to buy a car. Not in one lifetime, maybe that's not enough, but over a certain amount of lifetimes, they have gathered, the ability, to come back as a human being. And that's what we can respect, Every being we should respect. Even is it the mosquito, that bites us, we should respect. We shouldn't harm any living being, We shouldn't get angry. We don't have to like what he's doing, and we don't have to find it good what he's doing. That is a completely different subject. It has nothing to do with respect. So, but if we put it together in one thing, then there are lots of people, that we like, and so we respect them, and there's a lot of people, for instance, people that we find stupid, we don't respect. It's stupid. That is completely out of the order. It has nothing to do. If a person is stupid or intelligent, it has nothing to do with respecting somebody else. Respecting as a human being, he is a human being, and we have to respect him. Or it is an animal, and we have to respect that it has not on its own chosen the form of an animal. Because the chitta in an animal, or the chitta in a human body, or the chitta in the Deva realm or heavenly realm, or the chitta in the hell realm or ghost realm, is the same. It's the same chitta. One time, it is an animal, one time it's in the ghost realm, one time it is in the hell realm, and then it comes back in the human realm. So for that, we should respect any kind of life form, because any kind of life form has this chitta, And if we cannot respect this kind of life form, that means we cannot respect part of ourselves, because we all come from the same source, It is very, very important for us, that, and please separate it out, if you like what he's doing or not like what he's doing, But we should be able to respect him as a being. He has the right to live just like we have the right to live. Now, even if he's a despot, he still has the right to live. Whatever he does with his life is his karma. It's not our karma, but if we happen to be under a tyrant, then it's our karma to be under a tyrant. If we happen to live in a free country, it's our karma. If we happen, in a very wealthy country, it's our good karma, And if we happen to live in a very poor country, that is constantly in war, whatever, it is also our karma. This is something, that is that is so difficult for us to accept. Yeah? Whatever happens to us, yeah? And that's why we have to say, don't do unto others what you don't want others to do unto you. For whatever happens to you right now is what you have done unto others. Wherever you are right now is because of your karma. And whatever situation you face is because of your karma. Yeah? It's not because somebody else does something unto us. No. And that is something that is so difficult for us to accept, especially when we come from the West, because we all believe, the government is wrong, or the family, or the teacher, or whatever. Yeah? We always find somebody, who is at fault. But when we look really at the teaching of the Lord Buddha, there's nobody at fault except us. Because we created the situation that we now experience, yeah? That's why I sometimes call karma is like a boomerang, yeah? It always comes back to the owner, yeah? And if there's something nice on the boomerang, okay, we like it, yeah? But if there's something not nice, we always look for a faulty, yeah? person, or faulty situation, yeah? That has nothing to do with us, yeah? It's just like, these Catholics running to church, when some misfortune happens to them and pray the Lord, yeah, please take it away from me. But if they win in the lottery, I haven't seen anybody, who goes to church, please take that away from me. Huh? Because whatever good happens is our right, and whatever bad happens, somebody else did it right. That is wrong view, yeah? That is perfectly wrong view, yeah? So please try, yeah, to accept it. Even if you look at the world, yeah, the world is pretty much just, yeah, even if it looks very unfair to us. It looks very unfair to us because we have only this view of right now. We don't have this view of maybe 50 lifetimes or 7 lifetimes, yeah, of all the people involved in all these things, yeah, because then we see, like in German we say, the oppressor of today is the oppressed of tomorrow. Or the oppressed of today is the oppressor of tomorrow. Isn't that a saying in German? Yeah. Where does this all come from? If we didn't know that, yeah? If it wasn't inherent somehow in our culture, yeah? I mean, when you look at the German language, I actually do like it very much. Yeah? It's not used very much, very often nowadays, but I mean, we have a lot of these sayings, yeah, that reflect a very valuable point of the Lord Buddha's teaching, yeah, or of karma. Yeah. When you look, for instance, yeah, when you look at the word ugly, yeah, in German, yeah, hässlich, yeah, where does it come from? Hass. It comes from anger. People who are getting very angry, become very ugly. Yeah? And actually, the Lord Buddha said it, in one of his Kama Sutras. Yeah? Yeah? People, people who are lovely, who are beautiful, where does it come from? Even that the Lord Buddha said. Yeah? If you want to become beautiful, you have to serve others without thinking about yourself. And the more you serve others, the more beautiful you become. And that's why we all love, beauty. Yeah? I mean, we always feel, yeah, more drawn into the beautiful people or the handsome people than to the ugly people. Yeah? I mean, if you go to a bar or a restaurant and you see there are only 2 tables, free, and at each table there sits a person. At one sits a very lovely, very amiable person, at the other one sits one who is full of hatred. Yeah? I mean, we don't choose the table with the person, who is full of hate. We always choose the person, yeah? Because it always attracts us. And this beauty that attracts us doesn't have to be here anymore, yeah? Because that comes from a previous life, yeah? And that is also something that we really have to realize. That even if we change something now, or even if we do something right now, it doesn't come back to us tomorrow, yeah? I mean, ask any kind of farmer, yeah? I mean, a farmer always, yeah, thinks about the next year, yeah? I mean, what does he want to eat the next year? What does he want to have the next year? And that's what he sows, yeah? And that's what he's going to reap in 1 year time, yeah? Or in 6 months or 7 months, yeah? And what we sow today is what we will reap, most of the things we will reap in the next lifetime. Yeah? But that doesn't mean that we cannot change things nowadays. Yeah, of course we can change things. Yeah, we can first of all, try to accept the karma that is coming our way. Yeah? Yeah? Say hello, oh, there you are. Okay, I must have been a really bad guy, or a bad person in my last life. But then we take it in, and then we look at our own heart. If we are practitioners, we look at our own heart, where this kind of karma is coming from. Yeah? And when we can see, and when we are good at meditation, most of the time we can see, the root of it. The root cause is still in our heart. Yeah? So we take off, we uproot it. Yeah? That thing, that character trait that produces this bad karma. Yeah? And then in the future this will not happen to us again. The Lord Buddha was very practical. Yeah? He didn't teach anything that you have to believe. Yeah? He taught us a way, but of course, we have to trust in this way. Yeah? He taught us a way. If you go, to Berlin, then you will experience Berlin. Yeah? If you go to Bratislava, then you will see, what Bratislava is like. But the path to Bratislava, for instance, is this. Yeah? Or the path to Berlin is this, But if you stray off the path, you will not end up in Berlin, So if, for instance, if you do samadhi, if you keep your focus, attention on the breath at the tip of the nose, like he taught in Anapanasati, then you will reach samadhi, If the mind doesn't go out anymore. And everybody who does that, will sooner or later experience it. But of course, it is not easy, just like we know, any kind of path, that leads over mountains, through jungle and desert, is not an easy path to take, And each time we ask, do we have to really to do it, The path, to the end of dukkha is the how to say it? It is the most difficult work in all of our human history, I mean, working in a gold mine, or working in a coal mine, or in a diamond mine, 800 feet under the earth, and hardly 10 hours a day with hardly getting any food is still easier than to do the meditation that sets us free. Or to do the kind of practice that sets us free. So remember this, it won't be easy. Just like when you remember the first years of your life, it wasn't easy to learn to walk. We got up, we fell over, we got up, we fell over. And sometimes we hit our head, sometimes we hit our nose, and sometimes we were pleading and crying, but did we give up? No. We wanted to walk, So if you really desire to learn how to meditate, you will be able to do it, But not only 1 hour a day, look at a child, how long does it, How long does it try per day? At least, 7 or 8 hours, Each time, each occasion it takes, to try it, And we should do the same thing with meditation. Each moment we have, that we don't do other necessary things, just like eating, or washing our body, or keeping the monastery clean, we should take in for meditation, We should practice it, either be it anapanasati or reflection or investigation. Investigation of the things, that is the path of panya. Investigation of the things that we believe we are. And what are the things that we believe we are? And the first thing is the body. Who doesn't believe that he's the body? Maybe we don't like the body. That is a different thing. But we still believe we are the body. And you see it instantly, you will see it the moment something bad happens to this body. When you get really sick, then you see your attachment to the body. Because, if you're not attached to the body, if you just see it as a convenience article, or convenient vehicle, then you just wait, either it goes wrong, or it comes back to life, But Our attachment to the body shows up very clearly, in the moment. Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, I can't move anything. Oh, I can't move anything. Yeah. Until 7 days later, we are completely recuperated, and then we don't think about death anymore. And it has, I am sure of it, it has happened to anybody of us, everyone of us. Yeah? And this shows us the attachment to the body. And that is the first thing. And that is the first thing that we start to investigate, the body. Yeah? Seeing the body as not self. Yeah? Knowing that the body is just a vehicle, just like a car is a vehicle, and we are the driver. Yeah? This is very clear for us, that we are not the car. Even if you get in the car and drive the car, we still know that we are not the car. But now just imagine for a moment, you're born in the car, you die in the car, and you have never gotten out of the car. Don't you think you will believe that you are the car? Just like we believe we are this body? Yeah? I find it a very nice, very, very descriptive simile, yeah? That shows us, how we attach to this body, that we actually, it is very difficult for us to get out of the body and have a look at the body, yeah. But there are some techniques where we can get to this understanding that we are not the body. Yeah? We just put it out, cut it out, cut it into bits and pieces, and put all the bits and pieces in front of us until something clicks in our heart, until the chitta understands we are not the body. Yeah. But this understanding, there are two, yeah. Actually, with understanding, there are two. It's the same word, yeah. Understanding that happens in our brain is not the understanding that we are looking for. Maybe we have this understanding already, but our attachment is not cut. Yeah? What we are looking for is the understanding that happens in the heart, yeah. Because the heart is the only thing, or the chitta is the only thing that can let go. The moment the chitta sees that it does something that is foolish, it instantly lets go. You can't tell the chitta to let go. Yeah? Of course, every one of you, or most of you, will say, I don't want to have a next life. But do you think, this will happen because just you don't want to? Yeah? As long as we are wrongly attached to the things that we believe we are, and the most important thing is, of course, is this body. And with this body comes, of course, feelings. And it's one of the other khandhas, yeah? Feeling, positive feeling, negative feeling, neutral feeling. And then comes, what comes? Oh, there comes a whole package, of sanya, of memory and association. And then comes this package, of thoughts, ideas, yeah? And then consciousness. That tells us, any kind of sense data that came into contact with this body. Yeah? So, these are the things that we believe we are. Yeah? When you look at your life, when you remember, your last introduction to a stranger, yeah, then you only refer to these 5 khandhas. Yeah? And the most khandha we refer to, yeah, and we try to polish up the most is, when we meet a new person, is this body. Yeah? We don't go, in an unfashioned way, yeah, if we want to meet somebody, impress somebody. The first thing we impress them is, with our body, yeah, and then with our thoughts, our ideas, and whatever there is. Yeah? So, it's all within the realm of the khandhas. But the Lord Buddha teaches us that these khandhas are anicca, anatta, dukkha. Anicca, that means impermanent, yeah? And when we look at the body, okay, it's impermanent, it is born, it dies, it gets old, yeah? So it's constantly changing, yeah? When we look at our thoughts, they're constantly changing. Just look 5 or 10 years ago, you were thinking differently, yeah? And because of new experience, you start to think differently. Yeah? So, nothing is constant, even in your line of thoughts, from the moment you were born up to now, there's nothing constant in your line of thoughts, line of ideas, line of views. Yeah? They're all changing. Yeah? And memory is constantly changing. Yeah? Some things we remember, other things we don't remember. Yeah? And some new memories, through each day, new memories are coming up. Yeah? So this is something that is also constantly changing. Yeah? Feelings are constantly changing. Yeah? We don't, how can we be these feelings, Although we say, I am sad, I am happy, I am sick, I am this, I. That is the ego, yeah? I am this, I am that, yeah? Huh? But if you really look at ownership, yeah? I mean, if we have some sort of clothes, yeah? And if we don't like the clothes that we wear, we can go, yeah? In our wardrobe, and change the clothes to a nicer color. But when there is a feeling within our heart, yeah, and that is not really nice, yeah, and we want to change it to a nicer color, can we do that? So how can we call this feeling me and mine if I don't have any possession over it? Yeah, it just comes and goes, yeah. And just like with thought, it comes and goes. And if you try to meditate at least for a few hours a day, then yeah, you didn't invite these thoughts, you didn't invite these memories to come to you. Did you? Yeah? If you do, then you're rather foolish, yeah? Because all what we want to do is stay on the Buddha, yeah? That's at least what our intention is, or on the breath, yeah? We don't invite these thoughts, yeah? We don't invite these memories, yeah? I mean, if you want to think about it, of course we can also use the thought machine, to think about something, yeah? But sometimes, this thought doesn't come out in the same way that we hoped it would come, or this memory, we can't remember certain things, that we would like to remember, and other things that we don't like to remember just come up. So how can we call these memories me, mine, and I? Yeah? And that's what the Lord Buddha is trying to teach us. All these things are anicca, anatta, dukkha. Yeah? And whatever is in this universe, even when we look at the higher realms, the higher heavenly realms, yeah? I mean, they spend at most 200,000 years in heaven. Yeah? And then they come back, yeah? But then they have to go, I mean, it is a cold shower, yeah? And when you're up in the highest heaven, and then come down, to the lowest realm, to the hell realm, because there's some karma waiting for you, yeah? Because we know in our life, most of the time we actually do some bad things, yeah? And only a few times, we do some good things, yeah? So these bad things that come from these bad things, sooner or later will come back to us and haunt us, yeah? And we have to experience it. That's why Lung Mahabua, my master, said, I mean, when he remembers some of his past lives, he was up there in heaven, and then there in heaven, and then he went down to this hell, then he went up to that heaven, then he went down. And that's not nice to hear, for us, yeah? We want to go to heaven, yes? Of course, everyone wants to go to heaven, yeah? But we want to stay there forever, yeah? Just like Christianity tries to teach us, yeah? That heaven is forever and that hell is forever. But actually, hell is not forever, and heaven is also not forever. We might stay in hell for a long time, or only a short time. Just like when we think about our laws in our country, when we do some grave, commit some grave sins, we are punished by law, maybe for 5 years or 25 years, yeah? Or sometimes just for 7 days, yeah? Some demeanor, yeah? And that's the same with hell, yeah? I mean, whatever we did, we pass away in this hell, or in that hell, or in that hell, yeah? Depending on the precept that we have broken, yeah? We are in different kinds of hell, yeah? So, even if we go to hell, we will not be able to get rid of all the karma in one go, yeah? We go to this kind of hell, first, yeah? And then we might come back as a human being, or as a ghost, yeah? Or maybe go to heaven because we have some very good karma. And then we go to that kind of hell, to serve our prison sentence there, yeah? And it takes a long time, please try to remember that when the Lord Buddha said, to obtain a human life, it is very difficult. And now we have this precious human life. And what do we do it? We waste it, we kill the time. Huh? We kill the time with doing this or doing that, looking at this, looking that, going on trips here and going on trips there. And nowadays people don't even have to go on these trips anymore. They just look. They're all married to their smartphones. Yeah, where the whole world is in their hands. They don't actually have to go to these things anymore. So we're killing the time. Yeah, I mean our time as human being is precious. Yeah, so please take this advice. Yeah, and don't waste it. Yeah. Just make up your mind what you want to do, yeah? And if you want to go out of the, if you want to find the way out of the hamster wheel, yeah, go the path of sila, samadhi, panya. Samadhi until the mind is completely calm, until there are no more memories, no more thoughts are coming into, yeah? And then go the path of wisdom, yeah. Investigate the body, yeah. The first aspect of this body investigation is actually looking at our life, looking at birth and death, old age, sickness, yeah, and education of this body or training of this body, yeah. And then, taking this body apart so that we can see that we are not this body. Yeah? And that is the first door, actually. Yeah? That is the third fetter, yeah. Believing that we are the body of, yeah? And it is one of the toughest, yeah? But for most people in this whole world, the toughest one is actually to believe that there is heaven and hell. Yeah? Some people have really difficulty, yeah? They think heaven on earth and hell on earth. That's not, yeah? I mean, human life is quite fortunate, yeah? As the Lord Buddha said, we can have 50% of sukha and 50% of dukkha. Yeah? I mean, if we have a very good human life. Yeah? So, that there is hell and that there is heaven, there are beings in hell and there are beings in heaven, and then there is karma and there is results of karma. Results of good karma and results of bad karma. Yeah? That is the biggest problem for most of the people, because they don't believe it. Or they don't want to believe it, The second fetter is, what is it? Yeah. I mean, it's not keeping the precepts, not keeping the precepts, yeah. Yeah. It's not so important, or the Kilesas tell us it's not so important, yeah. So we don't keep the precepts. Then we keep them again, and the next day we say, so stupid, of me. Okay, let's keep the precepts. 3 days later, it's too tough, life is too tough, let's break the precepts, and so on. That is the second fetter. Yeah? So the first fetter is the first fetter of doubt, the second fetter is the fetter of keeping or not keeping the precepts, and the third fetter is the view that we are this body. And if we cut down these fetters very effectively, then we have a way to get out. Yeah? And the first stage of getting out is Sotapanna, is stream entry. It's enough. It's enough for today. So. Are there any pressing questions? No? Okay.ยังไม่ได้ถามมีคำถามไหมนี่เขาใช้เกือบหมดแล้วดี